Hi guys, welcome to Lisa Loves. Hopefully the lighting's okay in this because it looks quite dark. It's only about 6 o'clock in the evening, but I kind of feel like it's darker than it usually is. I'm wearing, would you believe, a jumper. It's August. Granted, it's almost the end of August. I've had to wear a jumper. I got 2 jumpers for £10. I am so impressed by that in Antrim. And believe it or not, in Poundland, in Antrim, for anyone that's in Northern Ireland, actually no one in Northern Ireland watches these, but yeah, some branches of Poundland sell clothes, and these were like a £5 each, and I got like a bright pink one, and I love this colour, but yeah, I'm well impressed. But anyway, that's not what I'm here for. I am here to do my weekly catch up of what I've been watching in the past week. So obviously this is for the week 20th to the 26th of August, and I'll just try and run through this as quick as possible. What I'm also going to do on this one, something new, I thought I'd showcase like a movie or something that I've got that I'm sort of watching, or just something that I want to share with you that I own every month, just whether it's a movie that means a lot to me or whatever. Anyway, so I'm going to do that at the end. So yeah, we'll kick up. I have watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's worse than usual. That's 9 movies in the last week. To be fair, we have had Darren's dad and his wife visiting and staying from Yorkshire. We finally got our own house back, thank God. There's just something about having family, especially when it's not yours, it's just tiring, and you can't get sitting on your own seat, and you can't get watching what you want on telly, and it's tiresome. Especially since Darren's dad's wife insulted my pops. This woman is so rude, I can't even begin to tell you. Darren was talking about my Funko Pops, and she said, "Oh, is that what they are? I was wondering what on earth they were." Exactly in that tone. So I've tolerated this, folks, for a week, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, honestly. Oh, God. So anyway, I've managed to watch 9 films in that week that they were here. And I'll kick off with, the first one was one called Skinwalker Ranch. This is one that I heard Aaron from Screen Stars talk about. He is on a found footage kick at the moment, and he's trying to watch as many as he can to compile his favourite list. I know a lot of people don't like found footage. Anyone that knows me will know I love it. Granted, there are a lot of duds out there, but when it's done well, it's one of my favourite genres of horror. I love it. So the Skinwalker Ranch, it's a 2013 film about a ranch. Now this is kind of based on a true story. There was a bit of infamy about this ranch going back to, I wrote it down, 2010. There were UFO sightings, there was cattle mutilation, there was a disappearance of the ranch owner's son. This movie is kind of based on that. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. Aaron was recommended this by a friend of his who loves it. Aaron did enjoy it, but I don't think quite as much as his friend did. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was well worth a watch. It's not one of the best found footage movies, but it most certainly is worth a watch. It's not a bad one at all. So it's Skinwalker Ranch. I don't want to go into too much detail on these guys because, you know, I'm sure you don't need in-depth. If any of you want me to go into more detail on any movie I mention, then by all means let me know in the comments and I'll do a video separately on that movie, but I'm trying to keep it light so the video's not too long because I've got so many videos to catch up on. It's shocking. I haven't got near YouTube really in the past week, so I'm just cherry picking a few videos to try and watch, so apologies, I probably won't get to all your videos because it's just not humanly possible. But if there is something you really want me to watch that you've done, I know a couple of people, Strange Monkey did my Saw tag and he let me know. Movie Massacre did a really fun video that had a sort of a Saw tie-in to it, and he let me know about that, which I love because then I can go and watch and I'm not missing anything. So let me know if there's anything you really want me to check out. So the next one is I'm going through the VHS movies. I've watched VHS last week. I watched VHS Viral the week just gone. In next week's list, VHS 2 will be in because I watched that last night or the night before last. So anyway, VHS Viral. I'm sure everyone knows VHS are found footage movies. They are anthology found footage movies of a few small stories melded together. I enjoyed it. I thought it was perfectly watchable. I didn't think it was amazing. People have said 2 is the best of the 3. I agree, although I did really enjoy the first one, to be fair. And I did enjoy number 3. So I'd say 1 and 2 are sort of tie-in for me, and 3 is the worst of the lot. Still worth watching, still, you know, not awful. It's no Paranormal Activity 2, 3, 4, 5 marked ones. It's not that bad. Right, next one I've watched, a second watch is Never Hike Alone. This is the fan footage movie directed by Vincent DeSanti. Let me check I've got that right. Yes. He actually also stars in this as Jason. For anyone that doesn't know, if you're in the horror community, I honestly don't know why you wouldn't. This is a fan movie dedicated to the Friday the 13th franchise, where a young lad called Kyle, who's a hiker who records himself for like other hiking fans online, and he comes across Camp Crystal Lake, and Jason is still there. So it is basically a Friday the 13th movie made by fans, but there is no way of telling this is made by fans. Anyone I know that has seen it all agree that it's as good as most of the movies, especially the later ones. In some, it's better than some of those. Really good camera work, really good acting, solid enough story, well worth a watch. It's only 55 minutes long. And just info for anyone that doesn't know, the same people are also doing, I think it's called Spirit of Haddonfield, which is obviously a nod to the Halloween series, and Vincent DeSanti is also actually playing Michael Myers in this, so yeah, that'll be well worth a watch when that comes out. Next off, oh yeah, I will say we did actually talk about Never Hike Alone on our live stream, which we did last week on Saturday night, which actually worked. It's still up if anyone wants to watch it. It's on Sean Ershin's channel. I will try to link to it in the description if I remember. If I don't, kick my arse and let me know. But it was such good fun. I'm just chatting with guys that they've become friends. They're just really decent, nice people that I feel comfortable with, and it was just great to be able to chat with them. We are going to make this a regular thing. We're going to do it once a month. So hopefully, probably going to be the 22nd, 23rd of August. We have agreed sort of every month, so that'll take it to the next month. I don't know if it's going to be a Saturday or Sunday. We haven't decided that yet, but obviously I will let you know when we do. Next one is Pool Party Massacre. That is a 2017 movie. It's one that I was asked to review by Geek Legion of Doom. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I do remember when Texas Frightmare Weekend was on last year. A lot of people's vlogs that I watched that had been were all picking up this movie. It was very popular. So it was like, oh right, yeah, I know this one. Let's see if it's any good. And it is really good fun. If you want awesome, realistic effects and scary horror, this is not for you. If you want a fun nod, especially with that 80s feel, even though it's set in the modern day, it's got a real 80s feel to it, this one. It's fun. There's just so many nods to so many different things. Some of the acting is a bit off in places, but that can be forgiven for just the overall sort of job they do. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was worth a watch. It's something that would be fun to watch with a group of mates and a few drinks, that sort of thing. But yeah, Pool Party Massacre, I would recommend that one. Next, this has actually been a really good week. Next I watched Upgrade, which I have been wanting to watch for quite a long time. This is one by Lee Winnell, who is responsible for so many good things. He co-directed Saw, the first Saw with James Wan. God, please Lisa, be right about that. But Upgrade is, hang on, I've written down the name of the actor in it. Logan Marshall Green. This guy's awesome. He reminds me of a cross between Tom Hardy and the guy from 50 Shades. What's his name? The guy with the beard that's in 50 Shades. He's from Northern Ireland. I should know this, but I haven't looked it up. That's who he reminds me of. This is a story about this guy who's called Gray. I don't want to go into too much detail. He gets into an accident and he is given a form of upgrade to enable him to continue life, because if he didn't, he probably couldn't continue life in a way which he was happy to do. And this movie is basically him getting revenge for the people that caused his accident in the first place. and this is just balls out, gory, fun, in your face, awesome. It's watch the Horror Miser Monty G did a review on this. It's much more informative and concise and detailed than what I'm saying here, obviously. So I'll try and remember to link that in the description also. Go over and have a watch of that. But the scenes, something Monty mentioned, which is really true, a lot of scenes in action movies, the fighting's very choppy and it cuts away a lot. In this it doesn't. It's a full-on, the whole fight is seen start to finish. Everything is like there for you to see. There's no little tricks and some of the bits, you know, when you're watching a movie and it makes you go, oh, there's a lot of that in it. The effects are amazing, proper practical effects. I love this. I thought it was fantastic. It's one of my favourite movies of the year, and I would thoroughly recommend it to anyone. So that's Upgrade. Next is Ant-Man, not the new one, the old one. We'd been to see Ant-Man and the Wasp. I was a bit underwhelmed. I did enjoy it, but I liked the first one so much I was a bit disappointed. Then I discovered that my son and husband have not seen the original Ant-Man, so I sat them down and said, right, we're going to watch this. And they loved it. I love the original Ant-Man movie. Both my husband and son also both agree that the first one is far and away better than the second one. So yeah, Ant-Man, awesome. Paul Rudd in this, I just love him. Then we sat down and had a blast from the past and watched Flight of the Navigator, which I haven't seen probably since I was a teenager. I've always loved this movie. It's always had a special place in my heart from being a kid. I wanted Isaac to see it, to see if he enjoyed it, and he did. He sat transfixed start to end, really enjoyed it. I'm sure you all know Flight of the Navigator, the kid movie about the little kid that ends up flying the spaceship. Awesome, love it. That's a 1986 movie, guys. That's how old that is. Next one is one I saw reviewed on Sinister Cinema Reviews. The Hollow Child. I remember Jason from Sinister Cinema. I think he was like, yeah, it was okay. It wasn't awesome, but it's watchable. And I thoroughly agree with that viewpoint. This is a movie about a family, young girl, her parents, and there's an older girl. It's about a teenager, and she has been adopted by this family. Kids are going missing in the area, and the younger girl, the actual blood child of the parents, goes missing. She turns up later, a few days later, and she can't remember much of what's happened. And when she comes back, she's not how she was when she went away. The parents put it down to the trauma of whatever she went through. They say, oh, she'll talk about it when she's ready. But the older girl, the one that's been adopted, is not entirely convinced that things are as they seem. So it's a story about the fallout of her coming back and what they discover, and it's pretty interesting. I quite enjoyed this one. So that's The Hollow Child. It's a 2017 movie also. And the last one here, I'm not going to spend any time talking about it, was The Wreck. This is a 2018 movie. I've tried to watch this movie 3 times now. I find anything, if you know what The Wreck is, I'll put a picture in somewhere. I find the whole imagery of The Wreck really, really quite scary. I've seen some like I watch those top 15 videos on YouTube quite a lot by that guy called Chills. I know people probably think it's awful, but I love anything spooky or supernatural or unexplained or scary. 99% of them are, you know, you can tell what's going on, you can tell it's fake, but some of them it's like, can you hear that? My husband and son are building Lego. Right, and now he's just sworn. Oh my god. God, going back to school can't come early enough. Honest to God. I'm gonna have to go shout. Honest to God. Really. Right, so I've been and shouted. I don't know if that'll make any difference. Oh. This jumper's beginning to get all bobbles on it. Oh, it's maybe not the best quote. I suppose for a £5, what can you expect? I try to think what this jumper will do when I've washed it. Right, so that was The Wreck. I find the imagery of The Wreck quite scary. I don't have purple fluff on my face, do I? No. It's just scary imagery, and I think it's something that could be done really well. I suppose like Slender Man, which I haven't seen because the reviews have been so bad. I'm really torn with paying to go see it. It is here now, but I still haven't been to see it yet. it's like that. It's, you think about the potential and what could have been done with it, and then what actually was done with it, and how disappointing it was, the wreck. I didn't even get to see the wreck. I was just so bored. I couldn't bear it. I kept falling asleep. I tried 3 times. I just couldn't bear it anymore. So in the end I had to give up. I know Leo from Geek Legion of Doom has seen this one. He did review it. That's why I added it to my list, but I couldn't. Oh, Leo, if you're watching this, is it really worth persevering with it to get to the stage that the wreck makes an appearance? The actual storyline of this is a brother and sister. The wreck appears and I think kills the parents, and the story is about them way down the line when they're adults, when they're grown, getting together, and they're trying to find the wreck and get revenge for what happened to their parents. They're still arguing downstairs about that Lego, honestly. It's like having 2 kids. All it is a little Harry Potter tree and spider. And I've heard the F word twice. I can just be glad that at the minute we don't have neighbours because the house is empty, because, honest to God, it would be on Jeremy Kyle. If you're in the UK, you'll know what that means. If you're not, what's your alternative? Jerry Springer, Oprah Winfrey, Ricky Lake you used to have. There's loads. Maury you used to have. They've all disappeared now. Chavvy people shouting at each other, basically. Right. So that's all the movies I've watched this week. I'm still reading The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter, which I'm really enjoying. Very good, very well written. Yep, so nothing more to say about that. On TV, I'm still watching the series I discussed last week called Afflicted, about really like weird conditions and diseases that people have that the doctors can't really get to the bottom of, and they're not managing to do that much to help the patients. It's quite an interesting show, so I'm watching that. Castle Rock, I'm still watching. I haven't seen any in the last week because, like I say, we've had family over. I will admit this, I've been watching Big Brother. Celebrity Big Brother. It's one of those, there are only 2 reality shows that I always watch and I always get addicted to. One of them is Big Brother. I'm sure you know what that is in America. I think they've got versions of it all over the world. I love it. I love watching the psychology of different people interacting with one another, and just getting to know people's true personalities, and this is a celebrity one, so you often find out what a person's actually like behind the scenes that's different to how they project, and I'm really interested in psychology and behaviours and social interaction and why people do and say things that they do, so I find it fascinating, so I love it. So I've been watching that. It's on every night, so sure Darren's tearing his hair out. It's my revenge for the World Cup. I'm having Big Brother. I also love, which hasn't started yet, this will mean nothing to you guys in America, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, which, just to give people in America an idea, is a show where they take a bunch of celebrities, they take them into Australia, into the jungle, and they have to live in the jungle for however many weeks it is, and they have to do things called bush tucker trials, which always involves doing something really scary or really disgusting, like they come face to face with snakes and massive spiders as big as your head, and they have to put like what looks like an astronaut's hat, like, what's that thing, the big glass bowl thing, Jesus, I'm thick sometimes, and they put spiders in it, and they have to tolerate this, and they have to eat horrible nasty things like durian fruit, which apparently tastes like vomit, and rotten eggs and stuff. Maybe I just love seeing people in discomfort, and the public get to vote for which celebrity is going to do the trial every day, and it's just really interesting. I love it. I find it really interesting. And to people in the UK, if you don't know, Holly Willoughby is replacing Dec and so on. This show is usually presented by 2 guys called Ant and Dec, and they are like TV royalty in Britain. Everyone loves them. One of these guys was caught drink driving earlier in the year, and he's in rehab. So he's not doing this programme for the first time ever. These 2 guys are inseparable. They're like Morecambe and Wise or Little and Large. That probably means nothing to you in America either. They're like a double act. But a really popular female TV presenter called Holly Willoughby, who's beautiful, she's going to be doing it alongside Dec. So I think that doesn't make up for Ant not being there, but it's a big name to get involved, so that's what's happening. I apologise to people in America, I'm just talking about stuff you have no idea about, but there you go. Right, so that's the programme I want to see on Netflix that's popped up. I'm really interested to hear if any of you have seen it. It's called The Innocents. I haven't seen this, haven't started it yet. It looks interesting. But have any of you seen it? Is it worth getting into? Have you, any opinions on it as yet? If you have, let me know in the comments. And I'm going to end with, that's all the things I've been watching and reading. I'm going to end with two things. I don't usually do what I've been listening to. I'm going to show you a couple of CDs. Everyone knows, aside from Queen, who will forever be my favourite band, my favourite currently living band, the band that exists now as Queen, isn't Queen. Sorry if you disagree, it's not Queen to me. Freddie's not in it, it's not Queen. Backyard Babies. I listen to them an awful lot. They're a Swedish punk sleaze band. I adore them. You really have to see them live to get the appeal. They don't translate to like media as well as they do live. Anyway, they have not separated, but they take hiatuses and they do solo projects now and again. Singer Nikki Borg did one called Homeland. It was a 2 CD one. This is just one of them. That guy, look how beautiful he is, honestly. So yeah, this is his. It's very country rock sort of thing. It's very laid back, it's very acoustic. I will try and put a tiny clip in, and I will be really cross if this gets taken down because I've put a clip in, but I'll try. Or what I may do when I'm talking, I may have got some of him in the background singing. But yeah, I've been listening to Homeland a lot by Nikki Borg.
Some people like to gamble, but you always lose. Some people like to rock and roll, you always sing the blues. You got a nasty disposition, nobody knows the reason why. You got bad reputation. We're gonna hang out your anger. You got
I'm Backyard Babies guitarist, Dragon. This is a bit more rocky, a bit bluesy in places. Dragon is awesome, he's the guitarist. Some lovely artwork in this. He has now lost all his hair to alopecia, so he's never seen without some form of hat on. I'm sure the poor guy is just sweating his arse off, but very attractive. Sort of long dark haired guy, but he's lost all the hair now. So he always wears big, like he had hair there, and he's got a hat on, so he's always seen with some form of hat. But yeah, this is a really good, that's kind of the CD opened up. That's a really good I've got a signed record of this as well, LP, so yeah, they're what I'm listening to at the moment. I will try and have slotted a couple of clips in to let you hear. And I'm going to do one thing every week where I've discussed, I'll just talk about or show like a movie or a book or something that I've got that I think may appeal to people or may not, who knows. And this week, I've showed this before, it's going to be this one. This is my Video Nasties collection. In Britain there is, hang on, should I just read this? A shameful era in British film history laid bare for the first time, revealing every gory detail and disgraceful lie. See if I can get what the BBFC... The BBFC is like a monitoring organisation in Britain that banned a lot of horror movies in the 70s, I think, and 80s. Things like Cannibal Holocaust, Cannibal Ferox, I Spit in Your Grave, that sort of thing, and banned them. Well, this has got like every trailer for every movie on the list. I think there were 76, if I'm right. For the first time ever on DVD, all 72, I apologise, 72 films that fell foul of the Director of Public Prosecutions are trailered with specially filmed intros for each title in a lavish 3-disc collector's edition box set. So yeah, it's really, really interesting, guys. So there's like 3 CDs in there. I'm not going to sit and take them out and have you look at them all. But it's got, this artwork is all arse about tit. Alright, so we've got zombie flesh eaters there. There's like nice little insert postcard type things. I Spit in Your Grave. I don't know what that is. The Art of Nasty. Cannibal Holocaust. Driller Killer. And the last one, Nightmare in a Damaged Brain. I think Adam Turner, one of Sean's first subscribers who tunes into our live streams and gives us plenty of chat. He actually was talking about that Nightmare in a Damaged Brain recently, asking had I seen it, and yes, I remembered I'd seen it as part of this collection. So yeah, really, really interesting, guys. And have to say, people that don't, I've had this, argument's the wrong word, discussion so many times. The Cannibal, I think it's Cannibal Holocaust, but it may also be the case in Cannibal Ferox. The director was imprisoned and then was released from prison when he proved that acts in the movie were obviously not real, and people for that reason seem to think that that means nothing in those movies was real. The truth behind the matter is, obviously everything that was acted, all the human stuff, none of that was real, obviously. And it was filmed in such a way that some people actually thought it was real and it really took place. But this is my issue. You can buy these cut to exclude the scenes of real, and I will repeat, real animal death, torture, whatever you want to say. There are scenes involving, there's a mongoose and a snake. That's not anything to do with humans, but that's pretty hard to watch. But there is a scene where a turtle is killed. There's a few different scenes where animals are actually really killed on camera for the movie. And that is real. That's not simulated. That is real animal death. And people say, yeah, but this happens, and in these tribes this would happen. Yeah, of course it would happen. I agree with you. And of course movies have changed and things are different. I agree with all of that. But I don't want to watch it. I do not want to watch an animal being brutally murdered for entertainment. I agree. Like, we went to see a movie called Alpha the other day, and it was about tribesmen. I have to finish a review for that. And it had hunting and that sort of thing in it. Obviously it wasn't real. But you sort of like, you understand that people had to hunt to live and to eat, and all of that's fine, you know what I mean? But really, to kill something for entertainment purposes in a movie, just use special effects. You don't, you know, you can convey that this would happen in these tribes and this is what went on with special effects. If you can show realistically a human being murdered, why can you not realistically show an animal being killed? Surely it's the same thing. I know a lot of people feel quite differently about it. I personally feel it's very distasteful. I don't want to look at it personally. That's my viewpoint. So yeah, just people that say, oh, I don't know what all the fuss is, it's not real. The animal death is real. That's completely 100% real. I had looked into that quite a bit when I'd watched them, because little old naive me went into them watching them and didn't know. And I spoke to my husband after and he said, yeah, they were real. And then I researched it and they are real. So yeah, I'll leave that there. So that is it for the week. That was a bit of a downer to end it on. But yeah, there's nothing else to say, nothing else to watch. We're going to see Walking with Dinosaurs this Friday. It's Wednesday now, which is like a big arena show with big massive animatronic dinosaurs. So Isaac's weighing himself with anticipation. We're really looking forward to that. I will try and film a little bit and do a vlog for you guys so you can kind of see what's going on. My friends Kelly and Dave in Nottingham, they went to see it a few weeks ago and they loved it. So fingers crossed it's going to be a really good night, so we should enjoy that. It's the last sort of weekday before Isaac goes back to school on Monday, so trying to sort of squeeze as much family time in there as we can. And yeah, that's it for today. I will go and finish a review of Alpha that we watched the other day at the cinema, which I adored. Oh, I can't recommend it highly enough. But I'll leave this here for now. Thanks for watching. If you're new here and haven't subscribed, really appreciate a subscription, a little like button, a comment, anything. I really do appreciate it. It's over and out from Lisa Loves.